Yes, we can.
Okay, so Faith Frenning, a front-end developer, and I'm also a technical writer. And today we'll be talking about Markdown. So I know you have like some questions. What is Markdown? Why am I going to learn how to use Markdown as a technical writer? All right, so I'll be sharing my screen and then we'll start off the talk to know what Markdown is all about. Okay, so you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Can everybody see my screen, please?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so now Markdown is a lightweight markup language that can be used to format plain text, right? So it can be used to format plain text documents, just like when you use your what they call it, your Microsoft Word to type. That's the same way Markdown is used in typing. It can be used to format a plain text word, but instead of you to use your Microsoft Word and other tools to do those editing. I think Markdown is best when it comes to using it for technical writing. It was created by John Gruber in 2004, and it is now one of the world's most popular markup languages. Right. So Markdown is not the same as using your let's say your Microsoft Word editor. It's different in a way. So how is it different? You ask yourself, how is it different than why can't I use my Microsoft Word to do my write-up? Why can't I use sure you can use it, but why can I not use it when doing my technical writing write-up? So to format words in an application like Microsoft Word, you click buttons and the changes are immediately visible. But Markdown does not work like that, right? Doesn't work that way. When you create a Markdown formatted file, you can use Markdown syntax to indicate which words or phrases should be formatted differently. So unlike your Microsoft Word, I know a whole lot of us know how to use your Microsoft Word and other tools that can be used for formatting or your Google Docs, right? When you're writing on your Google Docs, all you just need to do is to click on a particular text and then you're able to format it. But using Markdown, that is not done that way, right? It has syntaxes just like your HTML. I know most of us that are new to programming or new to the tech world will still have like a hang about HTML and what it's all about. But if you're been using HTML, you know that okay, Markdown is just similar to your HTML. So it has syntaxes you can use in formatting your text. You don't just click on a particular text and format it. You have to add up a syntax to it, right? So when you talk about Markdown, there are benefits of using it. Yes. So why is it more better to use a Markdown language than using my Microsoft Word or my Google Docs while writing my technical documentation? One of the benefits of Markdown is it works on any platform, right? So you cannot use same when your Microsoft Word when you want to use do you cannot use same your Microsoft Word the same way you use your Markdown. Markdown can be created on any device, right? Running on any operating system, and it is timeless. It is timeless. So even if the application you're using stops running in the future, you can still format your text with a text editing app. So it's not an app or a tool that at some point when you use it and then maybe that application stop running, then you've lost everything. So you can whenever you have like a Markdown editor, you can use it in formatting your text, and then you have all your lost documentation back. So another benefit of Markdown is that Markdown can be used for just about anything. You can use it for your website. websites. It's being used for websites. It's being used for documentation. It's being used for notes, for writing notes. It's being used for writing books, for writing presentations, and it's used also for your email messages, and also for, just like I said, documentation. So you can use your markdown to create just about anything. You can use it to write anything. So it's not limited to a particular platform, right? So now we're going to go to how we can create a markdown file. Now you've known what's the benefit of markdown, and you know what markdown is. That is a lightweight language, right? That you can use. So now, how do we create a markdown file? First, you use a text or editor or a dedicated word markdown application. So there are lots of text editor. We are going to use our text editor very soon, and then you have other application. Like if you want to write on dev.so, you are going to write using the markdown format. So it's very necessary for you to know how to use markdown. So there are other platforms too that uses the markdown platform, markdown pattern to write, right? So those platforms are the places where you can use in creating your markdown file. And also, the markdown is written using the extension .md. So .md stands for markdown, right? Just like when you're writing your HTML, you have index.html. That's like the extension. The HTML shows that you're writing an HTML file. Same way if you do when you want to write a markdown file. So the .md shows that you are actually writing a markdown file. And so in Markdown Editor, you open the markdown file, and then you convert the file to an HTML document using the markdown application, and then you view the file in a web browser. Today we're not going to view our file in a web browser. We are going to be using an extension which we are going to install in our VS Code. So that will immediately show us what we are writing as we are doing our practicals. So just like I said earlier on, that Markdown has syntaxes. It's not like your Microsoft Word that you just click on the text and you do the editing. It has syntaxes just like your HTML. So we need to know what syntax it uses in writing. So below are part of the syntax. So just like HTML, if you know how to use your HTML and you know how to structure your HTML, you will know how to be easy for you to use the Markdown, right? And even if you don't know how to use HTML, it's still easy. It's just little knowing that, oh, okay, I'm supposed to use a hashtag here, I'm supposed to use a dash here. You just know those little syntax. It will help you in writing your Markdown. So one of the syntax is when you're trying to write or to write down a heading. Let's assume you have a heading for your technical documentation. You want to have a very bold and big heading. You can use this. You can use the hashtag, one hashtag. So that one hashtag is just like your HTML file where you have H1, right? So I'm not going to be let me not use HTML for those that are still new to HTML. So let me not use the HTML syntax. But for writing a header, you use just one hashtag. One hashtag shows that you're writing a big header. So that's the level 1. You can see how bold this heading is. It looks very bold. So when you want to write, let's say, a subtitle, right? You want to give your documentation a subtitle. You can use your level 2 heading, which you have to use your hashtag twice, right? So for that to use the level 2 heading. To use the level 3 heading, you use your hashtag thrice. To use your level heading, you have to use your hashtag 4 times. And also for your level 5 heading, you use just like you use your hashtag 5 times. So those are for headings. So it takes the same way the HTML heading runs. HTML heading has from H1 to H6. That's the same way your markdown syntax for heading run. So you have from level 1 heading that has the first hashtag to level 6 heading that has 6 hashtags, right? So that's like the smallest heading or subtitle. When you want to do like a small heading or subtitle, you just have to use that level 6 heading, right? So another thing, if you want to, let's assume you want to give your technical documentation, you want to list some items, right, on your technical documentation. For you to do that, right, we have just like I have to go back to HTML because this is that syntaxes are similar to that of HTML. So pardon me if you're new to HTML. Let me just use let me try to liken it to that of HTML. So for your ordered lists in HTML, you use still your 1, 2, 3. So for your ordered list here in Markdown, you have to just you know what ordered list means. You want it to have like a numbered, right? The listing should be numbered. So you have number 1, first item, number 2, second item, or number 3, rise, or whatever you want to do. So for that ordered list now, it's just normal for you to use your 1, right? Please note, there's something I need you to note. I think we are going to when we are doing our hands-on, I think we will understand it better. When you're writing your markdown, you give a little bit of space. You can see by this side now, there's a little bit of space before you write your text. If you don't do that, it's not going to take the syntax is not going to come to life, right? Without that space, just a little bit of it. So same thing here, right? So we're going to be doing when we are doing our hands-on, we'll understand it better. So for our ordered list right now, we have your number 1, and then you have your first item, you have your number 2, with the dots, you have your second item, you have your number 3, you have your third item, you have your number 4, and you have your fourth item. That's for your ordered list, a numbered list. Then for your unordered lists, where you don't it does not necessarily need to take a particular pattern, right? Or numbered listing. You just have to, it can start from anywhere. So for you to do that in your markdown, right, you use a dash sign. There are 3 ways to do that. And while we are doing this thing, we'll use it. So one way is to use a dash, and then you put your text. So you have a dash, and then you have your first item. Same goes for others, right? So I think for us to understand what we are doing better, we'll have to go to our practical section, right? So it's going to help us understand how to use our Markdown. So I don't know if we have been able to download and install our VS Code. Please, how many of us have been able to download and install the VS Code? If so, we can start our practical section. So have we been able to download our VS Code, please?
Yes, I have my VS Code installed.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are responding in the chat.
Okay. So if we can now start our section, our practical section. So if you have your VS Code opened, I don't know, you have to create a folder. So let's see. We just have to create a folder first. So I'll call this folder demo, right? So I'll call it demo. And I'll go to my VS Code. I already have my Markdown open up, but I'll still go to get. So let's do this. So I'm going to open up my new folder. All right. So here's my new folder now. Right. So I've opened up this new folder. Now for us to, I won't want us to use our browser. I want us to be doing our practical section and immediately we'll see what we are doing as we go on. So first thing we're going to do is go to your extension. Go to your extension and install this markdown all-in-one extension. So just click on your extension and click on the search box to click and then search for markdown. When you search for markdown, you'll see your markdown all-in-one extension. If you installed it, please, you could just let me know so we'll continue. On your VS Code, go to your VS Code, go to the extension. This is the icon for the extension. Click on it and then go to the search box and then type in.
Sorry, what is the icon for the extension?
This is the icon here. Where my cursor is. The one that have these boxes. Hope you can see it.
Yes.
Okay. So in the icon, just type in markdown. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we got that.
All right. Now, if you've installed it now, the next thing we're going to be doing right now is to create, let me close this up, is to create a new file. So I'll call my, let me call it, no, let me not give it demo again. Let me just give it index.md. So you can call yours any name. Just give it index.md or whatever name you want to give to it. So we know what MD is, right? MD is for markdown. That's the extension for markdown. So I'm giving my index.md. Have we done that? Are you able to do that, please?
Suleiman say he's searching for the markdown extension.
Okay. Just click on this. Click on this extension. Have you seen the extension icon here? On your left-hand side. Click on it. The left-hand side of the VS Code. I know most of us are still new to VS Code, so it's to be a bit difficult for us. Okay. Suleiman, have you been able to see your extension now? Okay. All right. So if we've done that, click on this file here. if you look at this icon here, where my cursor is, click on it.
Does
You
it
have to.
mute?
That will make you to create a new file. Just click on it, and then you'll be able to create a new file. And call it index.md or whatever name. You can call it demo.md or whatever name you want to call it.
Sorry, the icon again for creating a new file. Okay.
Okay, look at the icon here. Where my cursor is here.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at my cursor. Where my cursor is, you see new file. Click on it, and then let's mute our mic, please. Many of us have been able to create a new file. So click on it and then you can type in index or demo, whatever you want, demo.md, index.md. But don't forget to put the MD at the end of it.
Creating a new file, just click on file and click on new file.
Yes. Click on file, click on new file, and then demo.md. Hope this is clear. Then click on enter. Many of us have been able to do this.
Yeah, isn't it? Can go ahead. Somebody wants to speak.
Okay. All right.
Isn't it? Can go ahead. She wants to ask a question, I guess.
Okay, please do. I can hear you. So, okay. All right, so let's continue. I hope we've all done this. Okay, please, Oliver, please do ask your question.
Okay, please. My question is, you created a file. Can you hear me? You
Yes, I
created
can
a
hear
file which is demo. Then inside demo now, you created index.md,
No,
which you say,
no. I was just, it's a folder. I created
okay,
a folder.
Okay,
Yes.
from the local machine.
Yes, please.
Okay, then
I created a folder.
you brought it to the VS Code.
VS Code, yes.
Okay, then now,
Yes.
this index.md, which you said we can actually give it any name. Then
Yes.
my question is this now. Provide any name we are giving it, must it come with this md.md, or should it the md does not matter, kind of like, does this .md count in any name we are giving to the file, like to the this thing, to
the file you're creating, right?
Yes.
It does matter because you're giving it's an extension for a markdown. Remember, you're creating a markdown, right? So
Okay.
markdown, and now this is the extension for your markdown. So index.md, MD stands for markdown. So it
Okay.
represents, yes, on VS Code, you have different extensions for different programming language.
Yes, I know.
Yes, good. So this is for markdown. So for you to know that you're creating a markdown file, you need to give it that MD.
Okay,
right?
thank you very much.
Hope it's clear.
Yes.
Okay, so if we've all created it, or if like majority has created, I'll just go further. So if we've done that and we've also installed our extension, the next thing we're going to do is go here. Please let me not use the full. I don't know why. So come here. You see a splitter by your right hand side, the top right of your VS Code. You see a split editor. Click on it. Click on it like this. It splits your file listening to two parts. While we are splitting our file or our VS Code dashboard, we want to preview our work, right? When we are working on it, we want to preview what we are doing when we are writing on our markdown. So click on your splitter by your right hand side, top right. Have you done that? Okay. So if we have done that, the next thing we are going to do is come to this particular side where you clicked on, right? So if you're using a Windows operating system, do Command Shift V2. The same thing. Then clear this off. For Windows, do Control Shift V. That brings out your what they call it. It brings out the extension formats where we are going to preview our work. So this you're seeing here, you're seeing preview in of us have been able to do that. On this part, just control.
Sorry, from the split editor. What do we do?
Okay, for the split editor, right here, when you click on the split editor and you splitted your work into your dashboard into two, right here, you just do Control Shift V. Click on it and do Control Shift V. It's going to bring this preview index.md. It's going to bring this particular name, preview. For those using Windows, for those using Mac, Command Shift V. Okay. For Windows, Control Shift V. Control then Shift together, please. Control Shift and V together. Control Shift V. So if we've done that, how many of us has done this? So we'll start writing our markdown.
Let's select the build task to run.
You said? Hello? All right, so if you've done
Select the build task to run.
No, that's not what's meant to show. Just click. What operating system are you using?
Windows.
Okay, just together, Control Shift V, Control and Shift and V together. Control Shift then V. Control Shift.
Okay, yeah, we got that.
Okay. Then V.
You're muted, Fitz.
Oh. Okay. Hope you can hear me now.
Yes.
All right. So let's continue. Now, we'll start by writing our heading, our first heading. So this is what we are going to do. We put our hashtag, right? And let's say our heading, what will I do? I am a woman. So we can see how it's coming out right here on our preview parts, right? So you can try that. Your hashtag, remember the space. Now, if without giving it a space, look at how it will come out. It's going to show my hashtag. Hope you can see it. So if you don't give it a space, it will come out this way. But with the space now, it now shows that you're writing a markdown element or markdown syntax rather. So this is how it's meant to come out. Hope we've been able to do that. Okay. So we can also do that for other of our heading. Now I'm going to do for the second heading. So you can see how it comes out, right? So we can just do that for all our headings. This is the fourth heading. This is the fifth heading. And this is the sixth heading. All right, so we can see how it turns out, right? While using our hashtag. So these are for your headings, right? So this is how you write your heading. You are using your markdown elements. Okay. So if you want to now let's go to our listing. Remember, there are so many other ways to use your markdown. But why I'm bringing just this is because this is what you use more. Like when you're writing your markdown element, you use this particular, like your headings and for headings and other stuff more when doing your technical documentation. So that is why I'm bringing this view to your notice. So when we go in search or when we go to know more about how to write using Markdown, we'll get to know more. Or when you want to use that particular syntax, you get to search for it. But for now, this is just the few we'll go through. So when we are doing, when you want to do a list, let's start with the ordered list first. The ordered list, you have this. Let's assume I want to do a list for my food item. You can see how it's coming out. Right? Right. So this is for your ordered list. So it has numbers, right? So this is how you write it. And now for your unordered list, you can use this dash. Just like I said, dash, this, give a space, and you have your rice. Give a space, you have your beans. So it comes out this way. You can also use a star sign. You can use this too, right? So you can use this. You can use the dash or this star sign for your unordered list. Why you can use like your number 1, 2, 3 for your numbered list. So these are the two ways to do your listing when writing using markdown. So another way, let's assume you want to make something. Oh, mic. Oh, please mute your mic. All right, so I don't know if we have questions. I don't know if we are able to do it. Do we have questions so far? So we'll do like for the image and the link. Do we have a question? Okay, please, Oliver.
Sorry, I'm kind of trying to draw back because I was off from the screen. Please, I didn't know how you come about the preview index.md.
Okay,
Is it the way you did the index.md? Is it called
Yes,
the way you did the preview?
Did you install the extension?
Yes, I did.
Okay. If you've installed the extension, just go to this part of your this and do, if you're using Windows, do Control Shift V. Control Shift V. That's what you use to get this. So click here and do Control Shift V. It's going to bring your preview index.md out. And if you're using a Mac, it's Command Shift V. So have we been able to do that? Okay, look at how you can make your text bold. Like I said, let me do it again. So you all see. So let me use this new. Let me make this new capital in capital. Now let's do the small letter. All right. Okay, to make it bold, you do this. You give it this right hand part, this left hand part will have like 2 stars, and then the right hand on that particular text you want to make bold. Sorry. So you give it the left hand side will also have 2 stars on the text you want to make bold. So your right hand or your left hand, you give it 2 stars, right? Hope you've been able to do it. Let's try another one. Okay. So you can still see this, the same thing. All right. Someone said, after writing in Markdown, can I import it to Google Docs? If you can import it to Google Docs, yes, you can. You can take your Markdown file to Google. Like you can copy it, right, and paste it on Google Docs. You can copy it and paste it on Google Docs. But then again, if you paste it on Google Docs, it's not going to give you this format. It's just going to show this syntax. All it's going to show is this syntax, right? It's not going to show this format the way it is now. That's not how it will show. If you copy this particular Markdown format to your Google Docs, this is how it will look like on Google Docs, right? But when you let's say you're using a Google a Markdown editor, let's assume you're writing it on dev.to or you're writing it on some other Markdown editor, and you copy this the way it is and paste on dev.to, it's going to give you this when you save. When you save, you're going to have this, right? So I think I'm going to open my dev.to and show you later. But then again, let's finish up with this. Okay, so for your image now, we are going to have us have an image part. So I've just to like copy that from, oh sorry. All right. Okay. Um all right, so I'm here. So I'm going to do this for our text. So now you can, I had to go and get, let me remove my link first. There are two ways of doing this. If you have an image rather, I don't have an image right here. You can get an image and paste. So what I did here, right, was to get a link of an image for you to add an image to your Markdown documentation. You have to, this is a format for it. Now this place here is for the text or to show what the image is all about. Just like when you put your alt sign right in your in your HTML. So this is the same thing you do here. So for this you have your I want to, the image I'm pasting here is a beach, a Maldives beach. So I have copied the link online and then I pasted it. So all you just have to do is get this format and then you have your image in your Markdown. So for your link, if you want to add a link to a particular this thing, you just don't copy the link and paste like that. Let's copy this link on its own, or let's copy this image link and paste and see if it's going to bring out anything. You're just showing the link, right? So for you to get your image, this is what you do in your Markdown. Now for you to get a link also in your Markdown,
What do we do to get the image?
oh, can you see my screen? Hello, can you all see my screen? Sorry,
We can see you.
but can you see my screen? Like, let me share the screen. Sorry, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So can you see the image? I'm so sorry. I think my network has been going on and off. So can you see the screen, right?
Yes, can see your screen.
Okay. Okay, for you to get this image now, let me remove my link. I'm so sorry. I did not know my network. So this is what you have to do. First of all, this is how you get your, this is the format to add an image.
Okay, in between parentheses.
You can barely see my screen, but if you can repeat the commands. Okay. Uh-oh. Let me make it bold.
Please, we didn't understand the image aspect.
And
So if you can recap.
This screen now, can you see it?
Yes. Yes, we can see the screen.
It's better now, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So for you to add an image to your Markdown, the first thing you have to do is get this format, right? The exclamation mark, then you have your bracket, and in your bracket, now you have the title of the image. So for me now, the title of my image is Maldives Beach. So this is where the title comes in. Then you have your what do you call it? Another what do they call this sign? Okay, I still have to add it as a bracket. Okay, so inside here I'll have to paste my link to the image. So let's do I want to see our image. Maybe we can do a screenshot and paste on the message box. You can get a link online to an image and then paste on your image part of it. Where this is like the source part. In HTML, you have your source part. So this is where you paste the source of the image. This part. So let's get an image from or get an image from online and then paste on your markdown. Hope it's clear. Is it clear enough? So how many of us has done this? So we'll move to the link part.
I didn't get the image. I just got the link.
You just got the link.
Yeah, I mean the image didn't show on the preview part.
Are you sure you got the correct link? You can get
Yes.
just get a link. Yes, the correct link. Okay. Paste your link here. Let me see. Paste your link on the chat box. Let me copy and try it and see if you actually got the correct link. Okay. All right. Uh-oh. Okay, so let's try this. Think, can you try using another link? I don't think the link is correct. Try using some other link.
I don't think that link is a direct link to an image. You have to open the image,
Yes.
then you get the right link. That particular link
Link is not
is
correct.
a little bit problem.
So who is still having issues? So we'll just have like the last part. Okay. Can we use the location? Yes, you can. You can use, if you have an image in your folder, you can use the location just the same way you do. Remember, this is the source folder. You can do that. You have an image inside your folder. You can also call it just the same way you call your image when you're doing your source file. But since it's a markdown, it's better you use this link. It's better you use a link, right? Because you're writing for, let's assume you're using what they call it. You want to post your technical documentation online. Let's say let's assume you're using text and dev.to or any other editor, right? That's online. You have to use a link to read. So that's why I'm using a link. Do you understand? You have to use a link. It's more like advisable to use a link. Every other person is meant to access your image. They're meant to see the image that you're going to paste on that documentation. So it's just advisable for you to use the link. And also, most of these editors do like link extraction. Like when you do like when they tell you to upload your link, upload your image rather, when you upload it, it's just automatically creates a link for you, right? So that's that. Okay, the name of the extension is Markdown all-in-one extension. Markdown all in one extension. Markdown all in one extension. All right, so let's continue. So that's that for the image. Now for your link now, let's assume you want to have a link. Let me remove this link. You want to have a link on your documentation. Same thing with your image. Now note, your image had an exclamation mark, right? Before this bracket sign. But for your link, you don't have an exclamation mark. All you have is your bracket, and then you put in the name of the link. That's what it's going to show. And then you put in your link. Same way you do for your brackets. You do for your image. You did for your image rather. So this is the same thing you're going to do for your link. So to add a link to your documentation, this is how you're going to write it. So let's try it out. Let's get a link and then we'll try this out and click on the link so it takes us to that particular place. So mine is taking me here. So we can see my link has taken me to my browser.